Yo, what is up, guys? I'm Insanin, and get hyped because today we have another best action scenes video from Blam. This one takes place between logs 60 and 62 of the story and goes over Sanakan's revenge against the silicone life forms after they steal Cibo away from her. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of my favorite scenes from the entire story, and every read through, when this part's about to come up, I just get incredibly pumped to see Sanakan just be a total badass and lay waste to things. Anyway, let's see how it plays out. Debris scatters on the level above as the scene opens with Sanakan's administration-given body split in half on the floor. She asks if Cibo's alright, but Cibo can only look on in horror as an army of silicone life surrounds them. They stand in ranks with shields and carry energy swords with massive power. Sanakan struggles to hold on for Cibo's sake as the soldiers look on to finish the job. In a last attempt, Sanakan fires, and the shot heads towards the enemy. The field emitted by a soldier's shield reflects it back in the opposite direction as it hits the structure above. The soldier follows up with a swing of his sword as the energy wave carves a path straight through Sanakan and the structure around her. Cibo is left alone as Sanakan's arm is all that remains. The full destruction from the sword is seen, and as the smoke clears, the defenseless Cibo is captured by the silicone lifeforms. We're taken to the cyber world that Sanakan spawns back to. She realizes what happened and disappears in a flash. She goes to talk to what Nihei's notes describe as a type of netsphere manager. She asks to be returned to base reality, but is notified that she is no longer required for the retrieval of the level 9. Sanakan pleads to go anyway, but is told her situation is now one where if she gets forwarded and dies, it will be the end of her. A defeated look covers her face when, after a moment of silence, the entity tells her that they've made it possible if she wants to go back, but at the risk of her own existence. The name Sanakan is spoken, and her decision is made. The download process begins as matter starts to reformat, creating a swirl of energy as the transition to base reality is completed. She stands tall, sporting her original battle form with a no-limit graviton beam emitter. The look on her face is one of a warrior ready to kill. She immediately takes flight to head for Cibo's rescue. The endless city passes her by as she soars towards her revenge. She finally reaches her destination and lands prepared, with cyber bloodlust in her eyes. A silicone life is there to greet her at the entrance, ready to defend his territory. We look upon a massive silicone life citadel, and the sound of Sanakan breaking through is heard. The place starts to rumble and her approach is felt. A suspenseful moment of silence passes only to be broken by a shot of her graviton beam emitter bursting through the wall, taking out silicone life and delivering massive damage to the inside. Bodies fly and the enemies turn to see their threat approaching. Sanakan steps forth, carrying a corpse of her enemy, and murderous eyes stare down the silicone life, witnessing the carnage. She throws the corpse their way to land in the middle of the crowd and fires without hesitation, tearing a path into the bystanders and decimating everything around them. She continues with a volley of fire, killing hundreds of silicone lifeforms, when suddenly off in the distance, a small group catches her eye. It's the soldiers armed with the shields and swords from earlier. One of them swings his sword her way as she puts up her hand to block it, forcing the energy wave to go around her. The structure around her collapses and her body seems to have been smushed. The enemy waits for the dust to settle, only to see Sanakan carrying a giant piece of the building. She holds strong as the enemy awaits her move and with a mighty throw sends the structure flying. They counter with energy swords and slice it to pieces, but it does its job to give Sanakan an opening as she takes aim and starts charging up, with her gun undergoing a no-limit transformation. The soldiers take a defensive stance as Sanakan lets it rip. The shot heads towards the enemy and comes into contact with the field surrounding their shields, but this time it breaks through and demolishes the entire area. She closes in on the aftermath to see the outline of a single body. A badly damaged survivor looks up and sees certain death approaching him. She shoots one of her nanobody injecting needles, piercing the eye of the survivor and causing a transformation to take place. The process finalizes to reveal an exterminator to fight for Sanakan's side. The newly formed exterminator turns around with eyes set on the remainder of the silicone lifeforms. Sanakan leaves the minion to do her bidding as wings jut out from her back and she takes flight towards Cibo's location. The lone exterminator composes itself and prepares to attack before leaping towards the rest of the enemy and charging through their numbers. With a swing of its sword, bodies are torn in half while the rest are obliterated by the energy wave. A female silicon lifeform appears to confront the exterminator. Their eyes meet and it runs towards her, quickly closing the gap between them, but she cuts through its upper body with lightning speed. It falls defeated behind her, but fulfilled its role in drawing attention away from Sanakan. She's seen next flying through a pathway with walls covered in silicone lifeform heads. She picks up speed as the heads all fire concentrated beams simultaneously. Sanakan dodges and fires back, leaving their destruction in her wake and continuing up the passage. She chops off sections of the silicone life cluster and makes it to the dead end at the top. She blasts her way through as the next foe awaiting her prepares himself. She inspects the area and sees Cibo's head detached from her body from the silicone life experiments performed on her attempting to gain control of the sphere. Sanakan fills with rage as the enemy winds up an attack. She charges forward as the enemy lets loose his spear, cutting through the air at high speed and severing her left leg. She lands, ignoring the damage, aims point blank, and fires, disintegrating most of the enemy's body and causing explosions in the background. She looks upon Cibo's dismantled body before putting her back together. The entire place starts falling apart as Sanakan takes back to the sky. She navigates the city and flies up and up, creating a good amount of distance before finally coming to a stop. She starts charging up her gun while holding Cibo. The look on her face is cutthroat as ever as she begins her final assault. Hole after hole is made in the structure, housing the Silicon Life facilities as a barrage of graviton beam emitter shots fill the area. The entire sector goes up in flames and Sanakan hovers victorious over a scene of complete annihilation. She flies to a safe place and lands with Cibo, placing her gently on the ground. She places her hand on the sphere and tells Cibo that their child is safe. Her mission is complete, but the peace is short-lived, as a high-level safeguard appears from the depths with intentions unknown. Kind of left you on a little bit of a cliffhanger there. But I want to say what happens next for a future video. And technically, Sanakan did get a revenge and save Cibo. Anyway, so many great Sanakan moments in that scene. So many beautiful panels. She's just so badass. She really is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and comment as well as subscribe. It really does help out, especially if you guys are enjoying this stuff. And stay tall, heavy, tough. I'll see you next time. Peace.